All right. Welcome back to Taking a New Approach podcast. I am so grateful to be on the mic, to be doing this episode today. Hopefully your day is going well. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you are new, welcome. If you have been listening, thank you so much. Thank you for all that you have done. And I'm proud of you, like I always say, of continuing to do this journey. All right. And for those who are new, you could be anywhere with the old folks that keep coming back. You could be anywhere around this world doing anything, but you're here right now. And I'm so grateful and appreciative of you even just clicking on the video. And I always say this. The universe does not make mistakes. It's a reason why you clicked on this video. It's something here for you to try, for you not to try, but to do, to help yourself, to discover who you are, right? We're on this journey to discover who we are. We're just rediscovering it. You're not becoming someone new. You are becoming who you truly are. So before we start, I always like to say the power is in the now. So we're going to make sure we ground ourselves with a couple of breaths, right? Deep breathing so that we can center ourselves and really focus in on the present moment, because that's where our power lies. All right. So on 3, 1, 2, 3, taking that deep breath. That felt good. One more time. 1, 2, 3. So you can keep going, but I'm going to start. That made me really relax. So hopefully you feel good as well. So I wanted to come to you today to talk to you about something I was thinking about last night, and then it kind of went over till today. And it was really, I was thinking about just my personal and impersonal life. And I got that from a book called The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity, Catherine Ponder. And some of you might have read that book, have heard of her or not, but she was like the first person I really started to listen to. Even before Abraham Hicks, she was kind of like the catalyst to get to that level, and then the next level and the next, but really powerful stuff. And I'm going to put a link in there and all that good stuff. But I was thinking of this because I was just thinking about past relationships, and I was thinking of whether that was work-wise, whether that was with a significant other-wise, or, family, just all of it. And I was thinking about just love and just like whether it was like, are we on good grace, standing grace? Are we kind of just not really rocking with each other? Is it a good relationship? Like, what is our standing, right? And I really wanted to, as I start to evolve and grow, I really want to make sure that I leave a good lasting impression on people, that I really do come from love, that I don't want to add more negativity and hurt to a person, even though, we are all responsible for how we allow things to be. I still don't want to make it harder than it needs to be, if that makes any sense, right? Like, I want to be that good condition for them to be easy to love, right? To easy to accept love in. Doesn't mean that it always happen, right? And you got to be prepared for that. But that's how I want to give off my love. That's how I want to be, because we are love. That's what we all are. So it's just me thinking about that. And I wanted to talk to you today about how to generate love for not only yourself, but others, and how to heal a lot of the situations and the problems that we see today and that we have within ourselves, with others, and just in generality, right? And I've used these techniques before. It's funny that I didn't use it. I used the principle of it, but I didn't go back to this book to use it for what I was going through earlier, kind of throughout this year. But it was the same principle and the same mindset. But if you want to, the book, I don't know why I can't say this word, dynamic laws of prosperity. I don't know why I was struggling right there. But if you want to get the book, I would recommend, if you're not super into investing into yourself right now, or, you just don't have a bookstore, or maybe you don't have the money right now, whatever it is, you could easily go to, it's called Scribd, and it's SCRIBD.com. No, this is not a paid, little promotion or whatever. Hopefully it will be in the future. If I get enough subscribers and stuff and they see me just bringing them business, I'll put that out to the universe. But no, I just like to use it because I found it not too long ago, maybe 3 weeks ago or something of that nature. And I just really love it. So I'm just paying for it. And it's just something I use. And if I say I want to teach and help and guide, then I want to give people what I'm using. And I found tons of books on there, very spiritual books and other things that you're interested as well. They have PDF files on different type of topics, articles. I'm seeing some podcasters on there. It's like a plethora of stuff on there. So definitely check it out if you can, if you want to look up the book, and after I'm done talking about this and find what works best for you, because it's definitely worth the free month trial for sure. And it's definitely going to be worth the $8.99. I definitely got way more than $8.99 out of it per month, and I haven't even paid that yet. So I'm excited to pay it. I bless it with love. Okay. So let's get into this topic of how to generate love to heal yourself in others or any situation. Okay. So the first thing I realized when I was reading this book and thinking about today, and the key that it made, was that you got to start where you are. So you have to recognize where you are. You cannot, a lot of times when we get into this spiritual thing and whatever you want to call it, it's up to you what you call it. Don't hold me to, he said it's this, so I can't listen to him. No, it's what you want to call it. If you don't see it as a journey, it's not a journey. If it's a journey, it's a journey, whatever. But when you get into really rediscovering who you are, you have to know where you are. So your business, your impersonal, that's your business, the kind of how you interact with the people you really don't know, just day to day, going to the grocery store, being around people, that type of stuff. And then you have the personal side where it's your family, your inner circle, that type of thing. And you got to see, where are you in terms of both of those sides? Because some people, you're good in this area, but you're not good in this one. Right. And sometimes we want to force it, right, with the other side that's not going so well, but we're not ready for it. And that becomes a problem, because then we think the method doesn't work, or we don't think that we're getting anywhere. And you have to realize that where you are is perfectly fine. So start there. If you are doing well in business, you're making money, life is good in terms of that, but your personal side is not going well, start to bless your business side. Start to be more grateful on that side. Start to use the affirmations that I'm going to give you, and some that you can go find for yourself, to focus on that. Because when that starts to improve, you'll be amazed that other stuff starts to leak inside of you, and you start to project that in the other parts of your life where it's not, where you feel void, where you don't feel the love is there enough. This is how you're going to heal yourself. Because prime example, when I came into my spiritual awakening, right? And I was, I kind of quit my job, broke up with my ex, and, I still had, damn, you left me. I felt like people was just it was tough for me, right? Loyalty is a huge thing to me, right? And it's something that I work on all the time, understanding that that's something that I will keep giving, no matter how the other person understands what loyalty means, right? And so for me, I felt dang, you just gonna leave me at my worst, and all this other stuff. And whenever I would think of my ex in a certain way, it'd be negative, right? A lot of people hold negativity, or a lot of people try to play the cool, oh yeah, I'm cool with all my exes, but it's really just because it's more for ego, right? It's not really that you really healed that part of you, or you never really cared. It was more or less like you just use them as a thing. So you really wasn't ever giving them true love. You just had this whole detachment to not get hurt. So that's how, because some people play that role. Like you don't want to get attached to people, but people use people only for what they need and then get rid of them so that they don't have to ever really understand and grow and really know what it means to be vulnerable and to really give of self. I'm not talking about you have to have pain, but it's a difference when you give, when you really try to expose yourself and really give of yourself unselfishly, unconditionally. It's a difference. But anyway, it was rough. And a lot of us have these negative thoughts about people that's no longer in our lives. And that is hurting your current position right now where you are, whether that be in finances, whether that be in you pursuing what you really want to do in life, whether that's your health. So one thing I learned from this book, and I believe it definitely was this book. It was about blessing people. And if it wasn't this book, I'll make sure I get it, but it's definitely about generating love. It was about blessing the person and sending them love. So that was the first thing. So if you're one of those people who's dealing with a breakup, or every time it comes in your mind, you get frustrated, you're angry about something, or bless it and send it love. And it doesn't have to just be a breakup, but I'm giving you an example. Because now, I haven't talked to my ex since then, but honestly, I have no hatred towards the person. None. Zero. Like, I hope they're doing well. I hope they're not struggling. Like, I just send love that way, because it makes no sense to sit up there and hate and hope for things to go bad when you were just in a situation feeling the same way. And that's a lot of the times we want people to feel how we feel. And it's like, if I don't feel good, why you want somebody else not to feel good? You just want to get to the point where you can feel like you just want to be satisfied to know that someone's hurting. And half the time, or more than half the time, it's about ego. You want them to just know that you cared, that you was something to them, instead of realizing that you need to be who you need to be for yourself. That's the difference. You need to love yourself. You need to be all important to yourself. And so many of us have hurt ourselves because we're about this ego, like, oh, they should have loved me more, or I love them so much, like they need to give me this, they need to give me that, or like I did all this and I wasted my time. You didn't waste your time. If your love is so great, then you should be like, man, shame on them. They don't understand the blessing that they just got. But I bless them and send them love. And all the time, whenever it was in my mind, I would just keep saying that until I got to the point where I just leveled out, where I was like, okay, the thought went away. And every time, and in the beginning, it was constant. Man, it was constant. It was so constant. I had to do it over and over and over and over again. But I knew, like, my goal was to make myself happy. And I knew where I was. So understand that first. To generate love, you have to understand where you are. Don't try to go and jump in the deep end if you know you can't even really swim. You got to start where you are and then progress. You will get to that point where the bigger situations come in life now, where you wouldn't have been ready for it 7 years ago, but now you're ready for it. And now you can handle it, and it will just move out your way. And more than half the time, you won't even see those situations, because love is what you're generating. This is something you should start your day off with, something throughout the day that you think and be purposeful and intention, and have that intention for, right? Like, you need to make sure that you set the intention of your day and go about it like, you know what, I'm just going to keep generating this love out. So once you know where to begin, right, there's different affirmations she kind of talked about, right? Now, one of the main ones that you could always use, right, no matter what, for any situation, it's really just up to you. If you don't want to come up with your own kind of that really speaks to you, is let divine love be made alive in thee. And this could be used for any situation. Person that, you're trying to save your relationship, you're trying to save, you're just trying to save that friendship, or you just want to be back on good terms with a person. It doesn't necessarily have to go any further than that, of just being on good terms and making sure that you're not burning bridges all the time. It could be on your mindset on past failures and just, reconnecting with who you are. Just start off with, let divine love manifest now. And in the book, she talks about how a woman was dealing with some coworkers, right? So she was dealing with these coworkers who, I guess, were obviously, she didn't get into this whole big detail about it, but they were fighting and just putting all the work on this lady. And then the lady went to her boss. The boss didn't really do much. And she was like trying to figure out, should I quit? What should I do? And then she told the lady, just use this affirmation. And affirmations truly work when you believe in them. That's another thing. Know where you are and believe that this is going to work. So if you don't believe that this stuff works, then of course, then you're wasting your time. But I dare you to take a new approach on what you think works or not. That's why it's called Taking a New Approach podcast. It's not about what you think works. It's about doing this, doing something different, and seeing what you get, because you never know. If you see it, if you never try, then you will never know. If you never do anything, you will never know. So you have to believe in this and choose which one resonates with you. That's why I gave you the website, so you can go read it for yourself and choose what will work best for you. So it was, let divine love manifest now. And the lady did that. She did it. And then it was basically like the lady ended up, she moved in peace. They respected, she was still saying no to certain things, but she was still with love. And basically the coworkers accepted her new attitude. Their attitude changed. Her boss' attitude changed. This is real things. I've seen this before. I had a negative coworker. If you listen to some of my old podcasts, I have this real cantankerous type of coworker, right? And eventually it was really bad. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm just going, all is well, all is well. I send them love. And I just sent that. I hope that they will make money. And I just kept visualizing them in the light. And eventually they did start making money. Relationships started getting better. They didn't bother me as much. My attachment to the situation started to crumble. Like, it was just, I detached from it. Now that person doesn't even work there. A lot of the riffraff that was the negativity that was in the place doesn't even work there. Easy. I've seen this work. I've seen people move away. The last person to leave my job was literally bullying me. As crazy as that sound. Just being nasty, gossiping, talking bad about me, disrespecting me in front of my own boss. Because they were hurt, because they needed the most love. And if I had to go back, I wish I could give even more love. I wish I would have found this earlier again. This brought into my mind. I had the principle of it, and I was all is well, all is well. But when I thought about it, I wish I could just let divine love manifest now. Let divine love be made alive in thee of this situation. And if you're going through something like that, or you're going through whatever it is, start to use these things and really give yourself a chance. Write them down. Because if this if the situation is that bad where you constantly are thinking about it, you're trying to figure out how to get out of it, then doing the opposite of what I'm saying, doing this to fix that shouldn't be a problem. It just didn't pop up yesterday this strong. You have to build it up. Most situations, the reason why it gets on your nerves is because every day you're building it up by thinking about it. So in order for you to get past that or transcend that, you have to do the opposite. You got to counter it with love, or the light side of it. So whatever you're going through, write down these affirmations, look up this book, and just read that chapter. You don't have to read the whole book. I'm not telling you if you don't read the whole book, you're not. No, you are where you are. If you could just read 10, 11 pages and it changed your life, is that not worth it? Are you not worth 10, 11 pages? Is the television or whatever you deem as the excuse to not allow you to read these 10, 11 pages or do what I'm saying for a couple months to see it change, and it probably change before then? Is it not worth it to you? You really have to think about it in those terms. Because we're worthy. We're deserving of peace. We're deserving of happiness. We're deserving of the love that we seek that is in us. That love shall seek us. That's what you have to realize. That love will seek you. And you will get to that point. But start where you are and do the best that you can. Done is better than being perfect. That's for sure. All right. So once you start doing that, there's another one that you can do as well. Now, I did this as a visual, like a visualization. Okay. So, and I did it pretty much when I woke up. So give yourself maybe 10, 15 minutes to visualize. And if you don't get to where it's so vivid and all, don't worry about just give it your all. I just want to mention that because I understand that's me. I am a person where it's well, I didn't do it the way they. Just do it. Just do it. Do your best. Move on. Next day, do your best. Move on. And just know that it will change. Just know. Don't try to put a date on it. Don't try to do all this. Like I said, let go of the expectation. Just know. Just know that it will change. And I'll guarantee you it will change probably quicker than you expected. And even better than you could have planned it out and thought it out and everything else. Okay? But what I did with this one was I did a visualization. And it says, with God's help and understand, change God to whatever you serve. I don't care what it is. Whether it's Source, Allah, Buddha, the infinite, oneness, whatever it is, change it to you. She's more Christian based, but I look for the knowledge. I'm not concerned with the religion. It's just different modalities to enter into the same knowledge that is all us. So with God's help, I am deliberately and joyously radiating divine love to myself, my world, and to all mankind. And I was saying that over and over in my mind. And I was visualizing this little beam of light, right? This beam of light. And for some reason, for me, it was shooting out of my eyes, kind of what's the X-Man? I forgot his name. But it was almost like this little laser beam. And I was just scanning all of my apartment. And it was almost like it was light of love, just scanning it all and just covering it all. And I went through all of my apartment. I was able to visualize certain parts of it and got it all, right? And then all of a sudden, I visualized it coming down all over me. And then it shot up out of the apartment. And it almost shot up into the sky and kind of exploded almost like fireworks shooting down, but I saw it like covering the area, the earth. And it just fell down and it just came on to people, and I had people in my head, like it was almost like people fighting. But then once the sprinkling matter of love came over them, they were hugging, and I just visualized that. People on the bus, people in the trains, people like, and that's what I visualized. Now your visualization doesn't have to be that intense. That's just what happened to me. Okay, that's what happened to me. You don't have to prove yourself to be that. It could be simply by doing it just for your family, whatever your situation is. If someone, that enemy who's your master teacher, if you want to visualize that person being nicer, or that person, just, leaving you alone, or not saying a negative thing to you when you say something, and they just trying to always one up you, like whatever it is. That's what you can visualize. Okay? Even if you just visualize smiling faces, like there's nothing wrong with that. Just you kind of repeat that, you kind of feel that, you feel it within you, you feel it in all the body areas that you don't love about yourself, or whatever it may be, or what you want to change about yourself. Just smiley faces. Just pictures of different visualized pictures of people just smiling all the time. It's up to you. This is your journey. It's up to you. Okay? You're not doing it wrong. And so then on top of that, if you, again, how to generate love to heal yourself and others or any situation. I really like this one that she did. And this one was kind of more for the haters. When you got a hater, you know what I'm saying? Like, people just want to hate sometimes because they got the hate in their heart. Like I said, hate is good for business, especially in this world. I'm not saying that as something that I want to happen, but that is what people are making tons of money off of. That's why we have a war complex and, and all that type of things going on nowadays. And you got so many of the gossip websites and all that stuff that makes big money because hate is good for business. That's what they are using. That's their model. I'm not saying love is not good for business. I'm just saying what model we're using right now. Okay, so understand the difference. But if you want to start to have those people either turn your enemies into your friends, or distance those people from you from having any effect on you, I love this one. So basically it was a lady, and she was informed in the book. She was informed that basically that it was a lady trying to talk negative about her. And so on top of that, she was trying to like get this lady fired from her job. So it was like getting really serious. And then her friend was like, look, it's getting really bad. Like, you're going to have to do something now to stop this. And the lady basically, all she did one afternoon, all she did was she wrote down, divine love is doing its perfect work in this situation now, and all is well. All is well. She said within a few days, the lady sent her a gift expressing the love for her and everything else. Now, I know that's hard for you to imagine, right? Like, you might, how we know if that's true or not? Who cares? Try it. Do it. More than likely, most people, when they write these types of books, they're not trying to lie to you to get you to do stuff to know it doesn't work. But do it. If it resonates with you and in your heart, do it. Okay? Just do it. And I'm definitely using that one. I'm definitely using that one for the next 21 days. So if you could join me if you want to in doing that. But definitely try it out. Because some of you are going through situations right now, and that's probably what you need right there to just Write that down, believe in it, and keep moving, that everything will be okay. All is well. All is well. All is well all the time. I use that a lot of times for the situation I was going through. All is well. All is well. All is well. Even in the belly of the beast. All is well. All is well. All is well. And all was always well. It always ended up working out. Right? And remember this. I don't know if most people have heard of this phrase, but I had a friend who told me, like, cash is king, right? Cash is king. But remember this, there always are multiple kings. Kindness is king as well. Gratitude is king as well. Appreciation. Being courteous. Being just like, all those things are kings as well, or queens, or whatever you want to call it, whichever one works best for you. So learn to live and operate out of that energy as well. Don't just be focused on the physical part. This is why I'm doing this, how to generate love to heal yourself. Because when you're able to heal yourself, you're going to heal yourself, but you're also going to heal others. You can also heal these situations that you're going through. This is why I'm doing this, because I really want you to really be able to learn how that you have the power. You have the power within you. And it's just about being educated on what to do, or where the knowledge is, so that you can implement it. Educate means to withdraw, right? Withdraw out of you what is already inside of you. That's it. That's why you educate yourself, because you're just trying to get your best out of yourself. Makes sense. Now, I talked about that. And then, so the next one I loved about off of this that you can use, and this is how you deal with difficult people. And I'm giving you multiple examples and kind of like the little context behind it, so that you can use which one is best for you in your time of need, in your situations when you hear this. Okay? I'm not going to give you all of them. Like I said, I'm here to inspire you. I'm not here to judge you, but I cannot save you. I'm just here to help you along the way as you're saving yourself. You're going to have to put in the work if you truly want to see your life change. And it's okay where you are. It's okay that you fall. Just be gentle with yourself and realize it's a part of the journey. But this one, it was about shooting people in the back with love. And basically, it was a guy, he was in a public relations type of job, and he has to deal with the public and Uncle Sam, his government job. And basically, he said he was always nice, and silently, he will always affirm that divine love is in control and all is well. And then whenever they would leave, he said he would shoot them with love in their back, right? Just like, I shoot you with love in your back. I shoot you with love in your back, right? And more than likely, most of the time, people will always just like turn around and be very just completely different. They were showing love. They will apologize. They would come back and be happy and those things. And this is real. There is power in your words. That's why you should always be careful with what you say to people. That's another reason why I'm even doing this, because I realized like the power of my words. My words are powerful. And in my past relationships, I did not always respect the power that I have. I did not always respect and see myself who I knew I was, because if I did, I wouldn't have used certain type of words. I wouldn't have tried to lash out at people the way I did. Right? Like, I'm not gonna beat myself up about it, but if I understand that now, I have a responsibility to you who are listening, and to those who are listening, and to those people I run into, to leave a lasting good impression, whether they know it or not. The same information that I have. Because when you know better, you do better. When you have more power, there's more responsibility given to you. No one said it was easy, but it can be when you understand that this is who you are. So just remember that. The more you learn, the more you grow. Don't worry about what they're doing. Don't focus on what they're doing. Heal yourself. Generate this love for yourself every morning, every night before you go to bed. Because all that matters is that you gonna feel the pain. You gonna feel the depression. You gonna feel frustrated and anxiety and hopelessness. And like, you gonna feel that. They're not gonna feel that. That's our problems today, is that we're not generating enough love for ourselves. We so focused on, well, why they not feeling the same way I'm feeling? How they get to feel better? Who gives a damn? Make sure you feel better. Make sure that you got love in yourself. Make sure that you have what you need. Don't worry about the next person. Don't worry about them. Focus on you. And when you're able to love yourself back in the wholeness, and you see yourself back in the wholeness, and you only talk about what you desire and what is rightfully yours, then that's what you will get. And the rest of those people will either flock to you to see you as a support system, to learn how you did it, or you will change them just in the sense that they won't even want to mess with you. Understand that. I mean this. I don't have time to BS people. I don't have to do this. I do this for myself. I do it because this is what I believe in. This is me. 100% me. Even when people can piss me off and I'm going down a rabbit hole, I'm still going to understand fundamentally that it's still not them. It's still not them. It's me. I could respond differently. I can still give more love. I can still be grateful for the opportunity. I can still have more appreciation. None of this matters. None of this nonsense when it's an issue matters. It's just my ego. And if I want to revel in the ego all dang on day, then that's on me. But I know how to get myself out of it. And I know what it's costing me. Do you know what it's costing you, though? Generate that love today. It don't even have to be super deep. It could just be, let love manifest in me today. And just constantly keep playing that. Put it on a recording and play it in your car. Say it when you're in the bathroom. Just say it whenever you need to. When the negative thoughts start drowning in and trying to take over you. Don't let it do it. Don't let it do it. So, when you do that one, that is going to help you. And that keeps you calm. You'll notice it too. Like, I wanted to say this in terms of, like, when you start to do this, realize that you might not see your progress as much as others will. And I was listening to side note this, but it's still a part of this. It's just when you're doing this types of stuff that I'm talking about, like when you're doing this practice, understand it takes time. And this stuff, the more you believe in it, the more that you give it all of your feeling, your whole commitment is there, the quicker it will probably happen for you. But if you're not quite there, just have that thought in the back of your head. I know that it will work. It's going to work. I just got to keep giving it my all. Keep giving it my all. And the reason why I say that is because I was like listening to this guy. He was talking about people being speakers or whatever, because I'm, learning, just growing. And he was saying how, like, sometimes you just got to focus on the next thing. You got to be in the moment. You got to be in the craft, because you're not going to notice yourself getting better per se right away, but other people will. And that's what you need to focus on, is just constantly being able to keep going and to keep moving, because he said, like, yeah, I had my son with me, and my son, the last time my granddad, his grandfather, has seen him, you know, he was like a year younger, but he grew a lot. And every time he sees him over the time that he's been born, he's like, man, you're getting so big. And he was like, for me, I didn't really recognize it because I see him all the time, right? Like, you notice it after a while, but you start to really, when you're in it, you don't really notice it. And that's what I mean by this. Notice that people are going to start to respond differently to you. That's how you know you're changing. You're not going to have the same situations. You're going to start getting more things flowing into your life of abundance in different areas that you're not even going to be like, how does this even associate? Right? Like, your health is going to get better. Like, those things that you're just going to think it's just naturally you, because that's kind of how it flows. You're going to just be like, you're doing this, let divine love manifest. And then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I just want to go on this diet. I just want to change my eating. And it's just going to be random. It's not going to be on, and you just start to eat differently. Or you don't change your diet, but you're still losing weight. And you're starting to visualize yourself in the things that you desire. This is how these things work. So realize that it's going to take, people are going to notice it before you do, probably. And you might notice it. Good. But if you don't fret. It might be that people are already noticing it, and that's why you don't think that they don't know. Or they're not noticing it. So that's a good one. Also, I love this one. I think this is something that I definitely want to keep in mind, and I definitely want you to keep in mind. But it was this lady, it was in the book, it said Ella Wheeler Wilcox. And she said, God measures souls by their capacity for entertaining his best angel love. And I thought that was just so deep, that how we measure ourselves in life is about, and especially relationships, is like, oh, what can this person give me? What are they good at? What, how freaky are they? And all this other stuff. And it's like, again, I said, we need to reevaluate our lives, how we see our lives and what is valuable in our lives. And I think one thing that we can do, all of us, including me, that means me too, right, is start to really measure ourselves on how much are we giving of love? Like, how much are we operating in that spirit or that vibration or that frequency of love? And when we could do that daily, and we could be satisfied with that, and gratitude and appreciation and honesty and fairness and peace and joy. Like, when we can operate from those and evaluate ourselves on those, that metric, then we will start to see the world. Then the world we really want to live in. And then we will also see your lives change, and my life change, and everybody's lives changing for the better. It doesn't mean that you won't have situations, but people know how to handle it better. And why can't we live in a world where we don't be beefing so heavily? You get what you think of. So I'm going to start to think only about, how am I entertaining love? How am I entertaining gratitude today? This is how you start to generate love, to heal yourself and to heal others or any situation that you're going through. All right. So I'm going to get to a few more and then I'll wrap it up, because I don't want us to be too long. Okay. So this one, it was dealing with like a lawsuit. So if you're dealing with lawsuits or anything kind of that, the guy was kind of mad. He thought it was unfair, unjust. And you can go back and read this book. Like, I encourage you to go back and read it for yourself so that you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. But if you don't, and you want to just go off of this and use what I tell you and truly believe in it, it will work just as well. It's up to you. Whatever your soul or your higher self tells you to do, then you do it. Okay. But this one was saying that, he was mad. He was frustrated. He could lose all his money and being sued and stuff. So he decided to basically go to a spiritual counselor, and they told him to say this: I live by the law of love, and love shall be victorious. And whenever you think of the negative situation or the person who's suing you or whatever, you say to that person in your mind, of course, you live by the law of love, and love shall be victorious. So you're saying it for you and the other person. And you keep constantly saying this. You don't say it just once and then you spend the rest 95% of the time thinking terrible things about the situation. No, sometimes you're going to have an off day, but please believe 80-20, 80% of the time you should be definitely on the side of affirming that it's going to go the way that you are, and probably even more, but 80-20 rule would be a good way of putting it, just to make it make sense and simple for you. All right. And then and then the last one is, if you just want an affirmation for yourself to just always just keep seeing the great things roll into your life. There's some ones in there about children, and just, so if you're a parent, you could definitely go and see that and look at that. But this one was: divine love foresees everything and richly provides everything now. The perfect results of the divine love now appears. And that just encompasses everything. Okay. So I just wanted you guys to hear that. This is ways that you can generate love for yourself and for others, and to heal these situations that you're going through. So if you're going through something right now and it's tough for you, and you like, I just need something, start to use these affirmations. Go to the website, get your free month, and go look up the book and read that chapter. It's the prosperity law of love, I believe is the chapter, but you'll see it. Read it. It's probably like 10-15 pages. Go to it, study it, and use it for yourself, because I'm telling you, it has worked in my life. I used it with coworkers. I've used it in multiple places for different situations, right? I've used it for myself in terms of love, of also when I was like, life was falling down, falling and just crumbling around me. I used it to manifest money. I used it just in terms of love, just to realize that I'm loved, that all is well. Like, I've used that. I used it for exes. It's unlimited. So use it for what is best for you. This is how you generate love for yourself and to heal yourself and others, or any situation that you're going through. Okay? So I want to tell you that I love you. I love all people, and all people love me, with no attachments. I love you. I love you. I love you. If no one's told you that today, there is someone sending divine love to you right now. Let divine love manifest now in your life. You are worthy of it. You are deserving. Thank you for listening. Hopefully this was helpful to you and brought you a new perspective that you can use, and some tools that you can now apply to yourself, and give yourself time. Like I said, don't expect it to be in 2 hours. It could change. It can. It really can. But you just have to believe that it will work, and allow the time, and don't worry about the time, because it can come early or it can come super late in terms of time period, but it will be on time. Okay? So I love you. You're doing a wonderful job. No matter where you are worthy, deserving of all that you're after. Keep going, because you got it. You're on the right path. Thank you for liking. Please like this, subscribe, share it if you think someone needs to hear this. Leave me comments in the comments section. I really want to talk more about it. If you are up to it, I'm going to try to get to you and talk to you. And if you need coaching services, any other things are in the description box. I really appreciate you all. And thank you so much. And I'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye.